spotlight me, that would be absolutely fantastic. And we can go ahead and get started. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're tuning in from across the world. We currently have over 650 members on this call today, participants on this call from around the world tuning in to this bootcamp. So I am super, super excited. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nili Joshi. I have been in this incredible, we've been studying cryptocurrency now for coming up to 3 years. And honestly, I am so, so, so grateful. And I'm going to be your host for today's bootcamp. So with that being said, I hope you guys are all having an incredible weekend so far. And I hope all of you are staying safe and healthy during these crazy times. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we're here to talk about crypto. Okay, you guys should be able to hear me okay. Can you guys ever just drop a thumbs up or everything? Yeah, okay, cool, sounds fine. So it may just be your audio, whoever can't hear me. Okay, but first things first, before I go into anything, everyone who's ever worked with me knows that I feed off energy. Okay, so if you give me 100% energy, I will give you 150% energy back. So first things first, I need to see way more cameras on up in here. Honestly, I know that self-talk is the key to success, but not self-talk in terms of me talking to myself in a Zoom call. That's not the type of self-talk that we're looking at here. I want to see way more cameras on, and I want to see you guys all zoned into this call, because trust me, when I say that this call is going to quite literally change the way you look at money, change the way that you look at your perspective of wealth, and change the way you're overall going to be operating from here on out. This is something that is just such valuable information, and I'm so excited to be hosting over 690 people. I know that we're going to smack 1,000 people on this call. So let's talk about cryptocurrency. What is crypto? Now, I'm not here to tell you, I'm not here to educate you about this, but I want everyone to really just truly understand the power of what we have in front of us. What we are experiencing in the world, everyone, is the evolution of money. We are experiencing the biggest wealth shift, the biggest shift in technology, and the biggest shift in how the economy is going to be running from now on until for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, pretty much the way the world is going to be going from here on out. History is about to be made in the technology space and in the economic space as well, because cryptocurrency is quite literally the future. Okay. Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency, I cannot stress this enough. If you are not already investing into cryptocurrency, or not, like, if you're completely new to this call, if you are not looking into or have already looked into and invested into cryptocurrency, you are missing out on this generation's biggest opportunity to change the direction of the family tree. I'm going to say that once again for the people in the back. If you are not already looking into or investing into cryptocurrency, you are quite literally missing out on this generation's biggest opportunity to change the direction of the family tree. Now, I want to see in the chat box who's ready to change the direction of their family tree. Who is ready? Because you know me, I work off energy. I want to see some fire in the chat on who is ready to change the direction of their family tree, right? Now, we talk about wealth, we talk about money, we talk about success, we talk about all of this kind of stuff, but what is true wealth? True wealth is the ability to have your time freedom and your financial freedom combined. True wealth for me is happiness, okay? So start to really think about your definition of happiness and what it is that you're looking to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years, whether it be more time, whether it be more money, whether it be the ability to travel, okay? I want you to truly understand that a lot of us are maybe looking for a bit of guidance on how it is that we can participate in these markets, how it is that we can really put ourselves in a position to put ourselves and future generations to come in the best position in these years to come, in the next 5 to 10 years. I want you guys to truly get into the zone and really understand that belief is a very important part of this whole journey, okay? So start to think where it is that you want to be in 5 to 10 years time. And what is it that this financial education is going to be able to do for you in the next 5 to 10 years? What's it going to do for your family? What's it going to do for your health? What's it going to do for your wealth? What's it going to do for your travel? What's it going to do for your overall way of living? And I want you to truly understand now that you are about to experience the blueprint. You're about to experience a 2-day bootcamp showing you step by step everything that you need to know in order to put yourself ahead of 90% of the world's population when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. This information is about to change lives. This information is about to change your perspective on money. It's about to change the way you're going to be living for the next 5 to 10 years. It's going to change the way that you're going to be able to raise your future kids, raise your future generations. And trust me when I say it's going to change the way that you think about the way making money from your phone, okay? So I want everyone all together to take a deep breath, close your eyes, and think about what it is that you want to achieve in the next 5 to 10 years and how it is that crypto is going to help you. I want you guys to get into that belief because you are about to experience, and I want you guys to understand that it is all possible. Everything that's going on in your mind is possible after this weekend. After these 48 hours, you are going to have a complete blueprint, an absolute complete blueprint on how it is that you can put yourself 5 to 10 years ahead in the cryptocurrency space. So with that being said, I want to see some energy. I want to see who is fired up, who here has just visualized and is so excited for me to bring on the next speaker, because I know this first speaker feeds off energy in the exact same way that I do, okay? So I want to see some fire emojis in the chat. I want to see who's ready. And I also want you guys to all hold up your notepads for me. Who's going to be taking notes on this call? Because believe me, after this call, you're not going to retain this valuable information. I see all your notepads, fantastic. Because like we say, only 5% of information is retained after a call if you do not write it down. So I am super excited. Now, the first speaker I'm going to be bringing onto this call is someone who has quite literally changed their life through crypto. And I don't say that lightly. It's someone who is impacting thousands and thousands of lives across the globe. Someone who changed their life through crypto and is now changing lives through crypto. Someone who has learned and taken the time to truly understand these markets. Someone who is quite literally giving such incredible mentorship to people across the globe. When he walks into a room, you know he's walked into the room. You know the energy that he's going to bring into this room. And you know that he is going to bring such incredible knowledge on Bitcoin, on the analysis behind Bitcoin and where Bitcoin is going to be 5 to 10 years from now. So with that being said, I want you guys to drop some ones in the chat for the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Master of Coin, who's going to be taking you through step by step everything you need to know about Bitcoin. Master of Coin champ, over to you.
Sheesh. Okay, I appreciate you, Nili, for the amazing introduction. Thank you so much for setting the stage. Just to make sure, if everyone can hear me, if everyone can see me, let me get a one more in the chat, because we're about to drop the sauce. Okay, amazing. Now, guys, before I do get started, quick ground rule. I want you guys to be taking notes because it's a proven fact. You're going to remember 5% of the information we go through today. This information literally has the power to make you multiple 6 figures plus. And if you're not taking notes, you're only going to remember 5% of it. So you're not going to get the true value. So with that being said, let me share my screen and let's just get right into the source of this, because if you really take this information and you really apply it to your life, there is no limit where you can go. You see, guys, when I first got into cryptocurrency, I was like you. I had no clue about what I was getting into. I didn't know what Bitcoin was. I didn't know what blockchain was. I had no clue whatsoever. But today, we're really going to simplify everything to make sure not only you know exactly why Bitcoin has the potential, but exactly how and when to get in at the right times and get out. You see, guys, first things first, I want you to really understand what is going on behind the scenes, because a lot of people are just seeing Bitcoin right now and they're just trying to throw money at it. Now, of course, that's one strategy, but we need to really understand why Bitcoin is so amazing. You see, guys, this is the natural evolution of finance. You see, we went from a society of barter, right? Let's say, over 10,000 years ago, 20,000 years ago, how would people trade? It was barter, it was exchange. It was physically, I've got these goods, I've got these services, and I will exchange them for your goods and services. They would use shells, they would use animals, they would use different items. Then eventually, what did we start to use? We started to use things like gold and silver. Now, what happened when we started using gold and silver? People started realizing, well, gold's heavy. You can't store and carry all your gold. You have to store it in one, secure area. So what happened next? People started to invent money. We had pounds, we had dollars. We had that means of exchange so we could go and purchase things. Then eventually what started to happen? We then evolved into having bank accounts, credit and debit cards. So what I want you to understand is going into the cryptocurrency space, this is just a natural evolution. Everything's happening online now. Everything's becoming digitalized. If you look at what Amazon's doing to the e-commerce space, a lot of shops are shutting down. You see, Bitcoin is essentially the Amazon of the finance world. And what it's doing right now, it is completely disrupting the entire finance space. And we're going to get into exactly why. Now, if you don't know what Bitcoin is and you're completely new to this and you've never heard of Bitcoin, you've never heard of cryptocurrency, let me simplify it for you. Imagine having a decentralized payment system. That's all it is. It's digital money. That's literally all Bitcoin is. It's digital money. But what separates it from having money in a digital bank account to actually Bitcoin is it uses something called the blockchain technology. I want you to write that word down, blockchain technology. Now, what blockchain allows you to do is it basically allows thousands of people, thousands of strangers to remain honest and consistent with each other. Because let's just say, for example, you wanted to buy a house, for example, of someone. With cryptocurrency, there's no way of getting scammed. You can't do fraudulent transactions on the Bitcoin network. Everything is going to be secured. Everything is going to be documented and everything is going to be public. But the beautiful thing about that, guys, is that even though it's public, it actually gives you control. It actually gives you the power. You see, because there is no centralized system. There is no one sort, like, for example, with the finance system we have at the moment, you've got the Federal Reserve, you've got the central banks. And the central banks, they control the flow of money. They control what happens with pounds and dollars. But with Bitcoin, guys, there is no one person in control. This is literally giving us, the people, our power back. But why is it giving us the power back? Why is it so powerful? We're going to speak about it very shortly, but I want you to be aware of the different ways you can make money in this, because there's more than just buying and holding. You see a lot of people right now, they're just going to Coinbase and they're just buying the coins and just waiting. Guys, of course, that is one strategy. That is one strategy. But we need to understand there are other ways we can actually squeeze the sponge. You see, what you can actually do is you can do something called exchange-based trading. And actually, one of my partners on this call, they're going to explain that in a lot more detail. But exchange-based trading, guys, is essentially, you can start off, for example, with one Bitcoin. Or by the way, you don't even have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can buy part of a Bitcoin. You can buy £10, £20, £50 if you really want to. But what you can do when you exchange trade is you can actually multiply your cryptocurrency holdings. You can multiply your cryptocurrency holdings. Now, again, we're going to speak about that a little bit later, but that's the second way you can make money. You can trade it on exchanges and accumulate more of your digital asset. Because when it comes to crypto, guys, they're assets. They're actual digital tokens. They're one of ones. There's not going to be, you can't duplicate a Bitcoin. So the power of that is because they're assets, again, you have control and you get to actually own these. And the final way of making money is you can do something called margin trading. Now, what that means is essentially every dollar Bitcoin moves, every time Bitcoin moves $1, you can be fully in control of how much money you make per each dollar it moves. So let's say, for example, Bitcoin moves $10 and you have one Bitcoin. Instead of making just $10 on that move, if you had more capital, you could make $20, $50, $100, even $1,000 or more. Of course, past profits don't guarantee future results, but with margin trading, it essentially allows you to catch smaller moves in the crypto space, but make even more money than just buying and holding the coin. You see, I want you to really understand that Bitcoin is the most profitable investment of all time. There is nothing else in the world that comes clear to the investment potential of this project. And why is that? Well, we're going to speak about exactly why it is. But guys, Bitcoin, well, again, this presentation, this exact photo was actually created a year ago when Bitcoin was around $10,000. So when it was $10,000, it had a 62,500% return on investment. Guys, understand that, 62,500%. You see, that is uncomparable to any other financial asset in the world. If you look at the S&P 500, that is the top 500 stocks in America. That is what most hedge funds look at. You see, the S&P 500 on a good year will do around 10 to 12%. We are in a year. Guys, Bitcoin will do 10 to 12% in a day. Literally, we are talking about the future of finance here. But why? What is actually going on? What is behind the veil? Well, let's go. Let's go behind the veil and let's really make sure you guys understand what is causing Bitcoin to disrupt the world as we know it. You see, first things first, I want you to understand the difference between crypto and fiat currency. Now, if you don't know what fiat currency is, family, fiat currency is pounds and dollars and Japanese yen. It is the normal money we use on a day-to-day basis. And with the fiat monetary system at the moment, there is a very, very big problem. And the big problem is fiat currency, so pounds and dollars and yen, etc., euros, etc., that experiences something called inflation. I want you to write that down. Inflation. You see, inflation is basically when the supply. So when it comes to normal monetary, they print money every single day. There is no cap on how much money they make. They literally print it every single day. Guys, 20% of all of the US dollars that have ever been created were created last year. I'm going to say that again. 20% of every single US dollar that's ever been created was created last year. So when it comes to the fiat and monetary system, there is a constant increase of supply. Now hear me out. When you increase supply of something, that's naturally going to decrease the value of it. That's why our currency, the purchasing power, is getting worth less and less as day goes by. You see, if you had a $20 bill in 1929, you could buy so many different groceries. You could buy so many different household items with that one $20 bill. But today, what would that $20 bill buy you? That would barely buy you a handful of items. You see, our purchasing power of our money is literally getting worth less and less and less. So if you're saving to save right now, you may as well be spending. If you have, guys, let's say the US, you know, when the US dollar dropped the stimulus check, right? When the US economy dropped their stimulus checks, that $1,000 they gave out, if you just kept that in your bank account, that $1,000 today would be worth 700. So by keeping money in the bank account and storing it, you are literally allowing yourself to be silently robbed by the central banking system. Guys, fiat currency, money, look at it, currency, right? The word currency, it needs to be flowing. If your money's stagnant, if your money just sitting there, well, it's going to be stagnant. And what happens to things that go stagnant? They go moldy and they go useless. So your currency, you want to keep it current. You want to keep it floating. You want to keep it moving through different assets. And the best wealth transfer, the best vehicle to do that, again, I'm not a financial advisor, is Bitcoin. Let's look at the facts here. Don't take my opinion for this. Let's look at the actual facts. One Bitcoin in 2012, that could buy you barely anything. It was less than 50p a coin. Less than 50p a coin. What could you buy with one Bitcoin? Nothing. In 2013, okay, the value started to spike. You might be able to buy a computer one Bitcoin. As time went on, in 2017, one Bitcoin was worth $20,000. So that could have allowed you to buy a car. And what's happening now, as you can see, today, Bitcoin is worth around $53,000. So what's happening with crypto is we experience something called deflation. Now, deflation is so powerful because with Bitcoin family, there is only ever going to be, and you have to write this one down, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins. And how many humans are there in the world? Yo, we've got 7-8 billion people on this planet. What's going to happen when everyone says, wait a minute, I want a Bitcoin? There's not enough. So what does that mean? Because of their scarcity, because of the limited amount of supply, that results in the price going up over time. That results in this thing called deflation. Now, when it comes to that, why are more people getting on there? Why are more people starting to wake up to it? Because we are witnessing the adoption of a technology. You see, Bitcoin, it's more than just a payment system. It's more than just a means of getting something else. It is an actual technology. And this is the first time in history, family. This is the first time humanity has ever seen a technology that literally has a price tag attached to it. Think about it. Back in 1900s, as you can see on this graph here, what this is showing you is the adoption rate of all of the different technologies that have come out over time. For example, in 1900s, when things like the telephone first come out, right? When electricity first come out, when these things first come out, not a lot of people had it. People were very skeptical about it. People didn't know what they didn't know. But what started to happen over time, more and more people started to wake up to these different sources of technology. I'll give you a few examples that we can all definitely relate to. Do you remember when the iPhone first come out? When the iPhone first come out, and we was all using BBM Messenger, we was all on Blackberries, the LG cookies, we was on the Nokias. Remember those old school Android and the old school phones? When those old school phones was out and everyone was using them, that was just the norm. But when the first iPhone come out, of course, there was a lot of hype around it, but not everyone had an iPhone. Barely anyone did back then. But what's happening over time? Most people now have iPhones. I mean, unless they got the Android, but hey, that's another topic for another day. So what's happening is the iPhone, right? It got more and more adopted over time. Now, pretty much everyone has an iPhone. It's weird if you don't have an iPhone or Android, right? So cryptocurrency is experiencing the same thing. However, we are in the very early adoption phase. Guys, less than 15% of the population own Bitcoin right now. Guys, the world is completely changing. And they say successful people, write this one down, successful people, they spot trends before it becomes obvious to the masses. Before it becomes obvious to the masses. It's all about positioning. And how are you going to be able to position yourself in the right place? Well, that's why we're all here, right? We're getting access to the right information. So what I want you to understand is this: we are still early. You see, Bitcoin has only been around for 11 to 12 years. It is still very, very new. Can you imagine investing into the, guys, this is literally the internet 2.0. Imagine investing in the internet before it came out. This is essentially what crypto is. And what's happening over time is when you look at the price chart of Bitcoin, it is a direct reflection of this technology. The reason Bitcoin is going up in price is because the technology is becoming more adopted. More people are waking up to the financial system. They're waking up to how, if I'm going to be very honest with you, they're waking up to the fact that the monetary system we have, the fiat system, is literally a scam. It's literally robbing us every day. So people are taking their power back and they're waking up to the future of finance, and they're taking control of their lives now. So we understand that Bitcoin is getting more adopted over time. We understand that this is a technology. We understand that this is literally changing the world. And I want you to understand something very important. You see, this bull market is not random. What we are experiencing right now is not random why Bitcoin's going up. You see, what it does, it creates 4-year cycles. And it is the same thing every 4 years. You see, fundamentally, right, because there's different ways of knowing if the price is going to go up or down. There's different ways. So when it comes to looking at the market, you need to have a solid plan so that you know exactly when to get in and when to get out. We're not here to gamble. No one's here to gamble and just throw money at something. We're here to make calculated decisions that we know have the odds in our favor. So what I want you to understand is something called the halvening. Something called the halvening. Now, this chart here, this was actually created before the halvening occurred. Now, what is the halvening? The halvening is literally coded into the Bitcoin network. And what this means is that every 4 years, the amount of Bitcoin, because what happens, guys, when it comes to Bitcoin, there's 21 million coins, right? Now, these coins didn't all just release at once, because if they all released at once, think about it, one person could just buy them all up and then control the whole market. That's why I don't invest in Dogecoin. That's why I don't invest in these stupid little projects, because they're literally controlled by 1 or 2 people. You see what I'm saying? Like, so when it comes to cryptocurrency and Bitcoin specifically, it experiences something called the halvening. This means that every 10 minutes, the people who work on the network, and what do I mean by work on the network? The network of Bitcoin, the reason Bitcoin is so big and why it's growing is because you have something called miners. You have something called a miner. And the miner is basically just someone who's set up a supercomputer and they use their computer to solve problems. That's all they do. You set a computer up, run a program, and literally it starts solving problems. It's like, for example, trying to crack a code. That's what it's doing. So what happens, the people who obviously use their electricity to run this software, they're not just going to do it for free, are they? Because electricity is expensive. So what they do is the Bitcoin, the blockchain network, it actually rewards these people for mining. It rewards them. And what does it reward them? It rewards them a certain amount of Bitcoin every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, family, a certain amount of Bitcoin gets released to the network of miners. It gets released to them. But what happens every 4 years, that amount of Bitcoin that gets released gets cut in half. Now, because that amount of Bitcoin gets cut in half, do you think that's going to mean that less people want it? No. No. If anything, more people are going to want it. Because there's less of it available, more people now want it. It's scarcity. It's like, for example, it's like looking at, let's say, for example, Gucci and Louis Vuitton compared to something like Primark. The reason, for example, Gucci and Louis Vuitton charge so much for a wallet or a t-shirt or clothes is because they don't make as many. Let's say Gucci make 1,000 jackets, they will charge 2,000-3,000 each for a jacket. But Primark, they may make 100,000 jackets and then only charge, £20-30 for it. So what I'm saying is with Bitcoin, guys, this supply is cut in half every 10 minutes. And that means the price is going to continue to go up. It's basic economics. If you look at supply and demand, when supply increases over demand, when there's more of it available than when people want it, the price just goes down because they have to get rid of it. But when there's more of it, sorry, when there's not enough, when it's scarce, when there's only a certain amount of Bitcoins, but the whole world wants it, like we said, 21 million Bitcoins, 7 billion people in the planet. There's not enough for everyone to have just one. So what's that going to naturally mean for the price? It's going to keep skyrocketing. It's going to continue to go higher. Again, that's not financial advice, because what happens is every 4 years, we have what we call a market cycle. Now, the market cycle, guys, I really want you to understand this, because as much as crypto is so profitable and everyone can make money off it, I want you to understand the one thing that remains consistent in every single market. The one thing that remains consistent in every market, whether it's stocks, commodities, cryptocurrency, foreign exchange, any other market you want, the one thing that is consistent in all markets is the human emotions. The human emotions. Guys, we humans, right? We're creatures of habit. And because we're creatures of habit, we create these different, what we call emotional market cycles. And what happens, guys, is this. The market is literally designed to take money from the impatient and pass it to the patient. Guys, in every single market, 90% of people lose money. I want you to understand that. You need to know what type of industry you're looking at. Of course, a lot of people are making money right now. But remember, it's not your money until you actually cash it out. Of course, you can have, X amount of Bitcoins or whatever, but until you actually cash it out and exchange it for an asset, you exchange it for property, it's not your money. Because what will happen is this emotional cycle is designed to literally suck you in and get you to invest at the wrong times. Because we humans, family, we are creatures of emotion, right? We're human, we're creatures of emotion. So let me introduce you to the emotional cycle of the market. And if you understand this, if you understand the mini cycles and the massive cycles as well, this can completely change your life. You see, myself and the other speakers on this call, we was in this market way before the media was looking at it. We was in the stealth phase. Now, what I want you to understand is when Bitcoin was around $3,000, or let's look at the prior bull run, right? The cycle before. When Bitcoin was around $100 at one point, no one was looking at it. No one cared about Bitcoin. When it was $100, no one cared, right? People would rather, go and do silly things, go spend their money on whatever. No one cared about Bitcoin. And what started to happen is the smart money, they started to accumulate crypto. They understood the power of it. They did the research. They started to accumulate their coins. And what happens now is we experience some emotions such as disbelief. You see, at the start of the phase, and I'll quickly annotate on the screen just so you guys can, okay, it doesn't let me, but we're talking at the start, right? The stealth phase. The emotion in the market is disbelief at that point. No one believes in Bitcoin. Guys, I remember standing at an event. This is pretty funny, actually. I asked the whole room, who has Bitcoin? Put your hand up if you have Bitcoin. No one put their hands up. I said, who has Gucci? Who has the Louis Vuitton bag? The whole room put their hands up. You see, at that when everyone is saying, oh, don't look at Bitcoin, when no one's talking about it, when people are fearful, that's the time to be greedy. But you see, when people are greedy, that's the time to be fearful. You see, what happens after this disbelief phase? Price starts to take off. The institutional investors start to get involved, and the emotion in the market now switches to hope. Because imagine Bitcoin, $100 starts rallying to $600, $1,000. The emotion is now hope. People are thinking, wait a minute, this is possible, right? A recovery is now possible. What happens now is we have that initial little shakeout, right? What happened in March last year, right? Remember when Bitcoin crashed last year? It crashed down to 3K. That was that initial sell-off. That was what we call a bear trap. Everyone thought, oh, Bitcoin's crashing, but it was actually just getting ready to go and create a new high. You see, the emotion in the market is now people are feeling a bit more hopeful. What happens is price starts to rally. Let's say it hits $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a coin now. The media is talking about it. The news is starting to talk about it. People are now experiencing optimism. They're like, wait a minute, this rally is real. Wait a minute, Bitcoin was at $100 a few months ago. Now we're sitting at $3,000. It's like Ethereum, right? When you saw Ethereum at $200, you didn't want it. But now when you see it at $4,000, you're like, oh, I want it. Even though it's going to hit 20,000. Yeah, remember that. So check this out. What happens now, and this is where we are right now. We are in the belief phase. We are at the phase right now where every single person is a Bitcoin guru, where people who have literally made no money from the market are telling you to invest in coins. Guys, if someone tells you to invest in a coin, you need to do your research. You can't just invest because it's on social media. Like a lot of these coins being produced on social media right now, why do you think they want you to buy into it? Because they're selling it to you. But that's a whole nother combo for another day. See, where we are right now, we are in the belief phase. We are coming into a phase like this. We're around just below enthusiasm on this specific graph. So what happens now is we go into the mania phase. This is where everyone's throwing money at this. This is where your barber starts talking about it. This is when my barber's on here. Shout out to you, Nabil. This is when your taxi driver's talking about it. Yo, if you work a job, your colleagues at work are talking about this. And this is the point where it's not too late. There's still gains to be made, of course, but we need to start being a bit more careful, because what happens now is we start to get greedy. Imagine turning £1,000 into 20 grand, 50 grand. You're going to start to get greedy. You're going to start to think, oh, wait, I can make more. And this is where the public get deluded. And this is where the most of the loss occurs. Because remember, in this market, in order for you to make money, someone has to lose money. It's literally how it works. So the question is, if you're making money, or who's losing money? So you need to know when the loss will occur. And that's the key to profitability, knowing when the loss is going to occur. So what happens now when we hit that all-time high? When Bitcoin hits $378,000 a coin, everyone's going to be going crazy. Everyone's going to be going, what? They're going to be in euphoria. I'm going to be rich. Because what happens when your emotions run high, your intelligence runs low. When your emotions run high, your intelligence runs low. So what happens now is people start feeling complacent. They're in denial. They're like, no way, it's got to go higher. It's got to go higher. It's got to go higher. Because what happens is the dumb money, they start investing up here. They start investing in this greed phase, in this thrill phase. The smart money, where you want to be, we invested in the stealth phase before it even had anything. You see, what happens now is Bitcoin starts to crash. And you see, guys, remember this. When these markets crash, they crash aggressive. We are talking 80, 90% drops. And an 80, 90% drop, imagine having 100K and then a few weeks later, only having 10K in your portfolio. That's the type of drops we're talking about. So what you need to do is you need to be able to anticipate and have exact targets of when and why these coins will top out. And what happens is now the market obviously just blows off. It starts to crash and people start going through these fear and anxiety phases. People start to be in denial. Because can you imagine buying Bitcoin at, let's say, $200,000 and it goes up to 380,000 and you're excited. You're like, wow, I've just made, a nice amount of money, and it starts dropping again. You're buying the dip, right? Like you've been taught. Buy the dip. No, that is, I'm being real with you guys. That information there is good, of course, but you need to know, is it going to be the right dip? Because there's going to be a point when you have the last dip and you don't want to be the guy buying the last dip. Trust me, you want to be the guy selling the last dip, because what will happen is everyone's going to be like, oh, it's going to return to normal. It's going to the moon. It's going to the moon. And it starts dropping even lower. The emotions of fear and anxiety start to enter the market. And what starts to happen now is it just crashes rapidly. Guys, these market crashes happen so quick. And what happens in these market crashes, the last thing I'm going to speak about, guys, is protecting your crypto. Because when you store your coins on these exchanges, you don't own the coin. If your crypto is in Binance, if your crypto is in Coinbase, if your crypto is in any other exchange apart from a physical wallet, it is not your coin. The final thing I'm going to leave you is this. Would you let me control the keys to your house? Would you give me the keys to your house? And would you let me determine when you can enter your house? Would you let me determine when you can exit your house? No, you wouldn't. So why do we do the same things with trust in these exchanges? You see, what happens a lot of the time, these exchanges manipulate the price. Such with Elon Musk, right? Why do you think Elon Musk is telling everyone that crypto is not sustainable? That is cap. 75% of the Bitcoin miners happen from renewable energy. So what I'm saying is this, family. These exchanges, what they do is when Bitcoin goes on its crazy price runs, when it hits these super high levels, they shut off their exchanges. And if they shut off their exchanges, they're shutting their doors to you. And they're not letting you get your money. So if you want to be controlling your money, and if you want to be controlling your crypto, and you want to have full control of everything, you need to get access to your private keys. You need to get access to your private keys. Coinbase, Binance, any other wallet only offers you public keys. You need a private key. You have to write this thing down, guys. This is the most important thing I can think of, apart from what the next speakers are going to go through. That's going to be saucy. You need your private keys. If you do not have a private key, it is not your coin. Not your keys, not your coin. Not your keys, not your coin. Guys, I'm telling you, I'm predicting what's going to happen right now. When Bitcoin hits its all-time high, when it goes to its market top, when Ethereum hits 20 grand, when Bitcoin hits $378,000, these exchanges are going to shut off. They're going to shut off. So you need to have an exit plan. You need to have an exit plan that doesn't rely on an exchange. And how do you do that? Well, that's what we're going to be covering for the rest of this bootcamp. So what we actually have now, family, is I'm really, really, really excited to bring you on to our next speaker, because this individual here, oh my God, it is about to be crazy, guys. Because the next speaker we've got now, this guy is an absolute, I can't even put this guy into words. If I tried to edify this person, I would be doing him a disservice. So with no further ado, I want to bring on one of the GOATs of the NFT space. This guy is going to show you the future. We know crypto is the future. He's now going to show you the future of the future. If you're ready for the future of the future, let me get a 777 in the chat for Mr. Rupen Vara. Rupen, my brother, are you here?
What is going on, guys? Can you hear me and see me? Awesome, awesome. Kieran, I don't know if you're able to spotlight my video. Thank you so much. Guys, 1,000 people. We maxed it out. Thank you so much for everyone that's on the call right now. So yeah, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Rupen Vara, and I've been a part of this amazing platform for 18 months now. And you know, cryptocurrency, just like Kieran, was something that I didn't know too much about. On this call today, we've got people that have been a part of this platform for years. We've got new members, and we have a lot of guests. So welcome to each and every one of you. I didn't know much about Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. I always used to think, you know, is it something that I should get involved in or shouldn't? And Kieran made a very good point there, whereby, you know, people enter things too late. So I'm going to speak to you guys about a couple of things today. First things first, I'm going to show you the platform that we use. Mirrored with that, an application that you have on your phone where you can take the trades that Kieran was just telling us about. Third, I'm going to explain to you what NFTs are. If you don't know what NFTs are, you, after this call, will be going out there and buying them, trust me. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. For those of you with your cameras on, if you could just give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen. Awesome, awesome. So look, I wouldn't, you know, we speak to a lot of people. We do calls like this. We speak to hundreds of thousands of people, you know, through the platform. And, you know, I don't know if you guys have heard, but this year, the world's richest man, you might have heard of him, Elon Musk, through his company, Tesla, purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So what I say to individuals is this: if the world's richest individual, who's got all the money in the world, is still going out there to purchase something to make more money, shouldn't that be a clue? Isn't that a sign? Let me give you an interesting stat, guys. Elon Musk, via Tesla, made more money since February in 3 months than he's done in 14 years of selling Tesla motors. When I saw that, I was like, man, let's go. Now, we've been in cryptocurrency for a while now, but just to point what Kieran was saying as to where this can go. Now, I'm going to show you public information today, guys. This isn't, you know, my website. This isn't rupenvara.com. This is JP Morgan. This is JP Morgan, guys. Let this load. JP Morgan predicts that the price of Bitcoin by year end 2022 could hit between $500,000 to $650K a coin. Tell me you're not interested now. JP Morgan, guys. So listen, I want to show you guys our platform, and then I'm going to go and show you some results. You guys need to see some results. So today we're talking about cryptocurrency. The platform that we use, over 400,000 people in 130 countries use this to make money from home. We actually teach people how to make income from 5 different streams: foreign exchange, high frequency trading, e-commerce, you know, business building. Today we're going to talk about cryptocurrency. So we have an academy called DCX. It stands for Digital Currency Exchange. Now, when I first saw this, I was curious to find out, you know, how this is going to work, how I can profit from it. Excuse me, guys. I think with 1,000 people on, it's just slowed my laptop down a bit. So I'll just speak while this loads. Basically, what the company's done is that it has over 140 full-time traders, experts, educators that teach you how to make money. They do the work, they do the research, they do everything, and we just take the investments and we make money from it. Now, the two creators of this academy are these individuals here. Firstly, Crypto Picasso, 14 years trading and 10 years within the Bitcoin space. This gentleman has been teaching hundreds of thousands of people to make money from Bitcoin from when it was below $10. His business partner, Ivan Paychex, now a close personal friend of mine, he has gone down in history, guys. You can Google this. He is the first person in the world to purchase luxury real estate from Bitcoin. So when I saw this for the first time, just like many of you are seeing this today for the first time, I was like, wow, I'm learning from the best. The company has put together an amazing array of crypto experts so that you can make money from home and from your phone. So we have an array of different educators that focus on different coins, you know, and it's so simple to use. So what I want to do, guys, I want to actually show you how this works. So actually, before I do that, you have an app. You have an app called Swipecoin. See this gold guy here? And literally all you do is that you'll get a notification. You might be at the park, you might be at home, you might be at the gym, and you will literally get a trade idea come through on your phone like this. And if you like the look of it, you swipe right, just like Tinder. You find your perfect match. And you get notifications and information on how to take the trade. So rather than pointing this back and forth at you guys, what I'm going to go ahead and do is that I'm going to share the desktop version of the website so that you guys can clearly see how easy it is to make money. Right. So you log in. And again, this is the same thing that you're seeing on your phone. I'm just blowing it up so you guys can clearly see it on your computers and tablets at home. Okie doke. This is a little bit slow today. I think it's because I have a lot of tabs open. Right. So here's a trade that came through just in the last couple of hours, Bitcoin. But let me show you this one here. Hold on, let me go to leverage idea. So there's two types of trading, two types of crypto trading that you can get from this app. You know, very similar to what Kieran mentioned earlier. You literally get trades every day, guys. Saturday, Thursday, Friday. And all you do is that you copy and paste the trades. So, you know, whilst you get your notification on your phone, you're going to be presented with this. Guys, if the squiggles are confusing you, don't worry. I'll make it clear. So basically, this has come through from our expert trader and educators. And what does this mean? See this green area here? Just follow my cursor. This is the current price of Bitcoin right now. And we're projecting it to take a profit here at this yellow line, another profit here, and potentially a third profit here. So what does that mean? Whilst you're on your phone, you'll swipe right and you'll be presented with the following information. It's so simple, it's laid out for you. Bitcoin, buy, enter between here, and you take your profit here. And then it takes 20 to 30 seconds to place the trades, guys. 20 to 30 seconds. It's so simple. Now, what happens when you place the trade? Well, we have a chat function whereby you're actually updated by the trader that sent out the trade to be able to, you know, tell you what it is that you need to do next. So, you know, again, don't let this confuse you. This is a trade that came out on XRP. You know, it's one of the top 5 coins in the world. You know, this came out, you know, yesterday, and they basically tell you, you know, we're in profit. 500 pips booked. Take profit too. 1,100 pips booked. It's so simple. But just like how Kieran explained, you can make money from these experts while the markets are going up and down. But at the minute, we're making money on the way up because everything's going up, right? So that's one way of taking, you know, trades. Now there's another area of the platform, and you get this on your app. It's called exchange trading, guys. Now this is where you're investing into coins. You know, there's currently over 7,000 coins in the world. 7,000. Now, admittedly, as Kieran said, you know, there's a lot of poop coins out there where people are, you know, putting out coins, trying to manipulate money, people and take their money. So literally what you're doing is that you're taking these investments. You know, I'll show you one right here. Again, this will pop up on your phone and it's super simple. Remember, these aren't trades where you're making money today. These are for investments. You might be making, you know, a return in a week, in a month. And some of the returns we're seeing, guys, 200%, 300%, in some cases, 7,000%. Now, sometimes it's 10%, 20%. But ain't that better than what you're getting elsewhere? Guys, ask yourself this question. How much interest has your bank account paid you in the last 12 months? Less than 1%, right? So what this platform is doing is teaching people how to become their own bank. So using this example, this is a coin called Chainlink. We're looking to buy. We enter between this price and this price, and they even tell you where to go and buy it. These are called exchanges, Coinbase, Kraken. It's so, so simple. And you're able to profit from these markets, from these experts, and make some serious, serious returns. So I don't know if anybody knows this. But the world's largest bank, people say JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the world's largest bank, as of earlier this year, guys, oops, my apologies. Okay, I'll just speak until that loads. The world's largest bank, as of this year, is Bitcoin, guys. There you go, it's loaded. Bitcoin. Not JP Morgan, not Bank of America, not Wells Fargo, Bank of China, HSBC, is Bitcoin. We are literally educating people to become their own bank. Now, I want to share something with you. It's called NFTs. Now, if you've never heard those 3 beautiful letters, you're going to know. And I'm going to explain to you exactly what NFTs are. They're non-fungible tokens. But before I explain what NFTs are, these are the hottest area of cryptocurrency right now, family. But I need to make you guys understand what it is first. So again, hopefully you guys can see my screen. I need to explain the difference between fungibility and non-fungibility. So I'm going to read this. Fungibility is the ability of a good or an asset to be readily interchanged for another of a like kind. So if I'm with you right now and I have a £20 note in my hand and you have 2 10s, we can make a like for like exchange. Does that make sense? Fungibility. What's non-fungibility? Non-fungibility are goods or assets that are unique, irreplaceable, and one of a kind. Think about a Picasso painting. Think about, a rare gem, that has a unique value. So when it comes to NFTs, I need to explain to you guys how amazing it is. I'm going to show you some examples in just a second as well. So again, follow my cursor, guys. There's essentially 4 types of assets in the world. You have fungible assets, non-fungible assets, physical assets, and digital assets, okay? So types of physical fungibility, like I just said, cash, gold, casino chips. If me and Kieran went to Las Vegas and we had a $2,000 chip, put it on the blackjack table, we would be able to exchange that for $100 chips, yeah? Then you've got digital fungible assets, guys. Things like Bitcoin, which we've just covered, Ethereum, frequent flyer points, loyalty card points in your supermarket cards, okay? So that's fungible assets, both physical and digital. Now, you have non-fungible assets. Again, something that's unique, as this is depicting, the Mona Lisa. If I own the Mona Lisa, I couldn't cut it into 4 pieces and give one each to Nili, Daniel, Kieran. It would be redeemed worthless. Same as a house. I couldn't cut my house into half and have it as equal value. It doesn't work like that. Same as a theater ticket, cinema ticket. If you and you're short, you're going to the cinema on a Friday night, you can't buy 1 ticket, cut it in half and go in. The usher won't let you. Okay, so that's non-fungible physical assets. This is what I want to speak to you guys about today in the bottom right hand of your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Digital non-fungible assets, all known as NFTs, non-fungible tokens. These have been blowing up for a few years now. We see it on video games like, Fortnite, where people invest into, different skins. We're seeing things like trademarks and deeds. Everything's moving into the crypto space. This year, guys, it is gonna blow up like crazy. So let me go ahead and show you what's happening in the crypto space when it comes to NFTs. Let me go back and share my screen. Okay. So earlier this year, I don't know if you guys know, a gentleman by the name of Jack Dorsey. He's the CEO and owner of Twitter and Square. He sold his first tweet for over 3 million. His tweet. Now you might ask, Ruben, why would someone buy that? It's a flex. Why did, what Kieran said earlier, why did people buy, Gucci bags, Louis Vuitton? It's a flex. Someone in the world now owns that. There you go. Just setting up my Twitter. Someone purchased this for $3 million. Nuts, right? Kind of nuts. It's now moving into the music industry, guys. It's now moving into the music, sports, fashion industry. Check this out. Ooh, my apologies, guys. Let that load. Calvin Harris, one of the first artists in the world, says that NFTs are going to completely revolutionize the music industry. Let me tell you what's happening in the music industry right now, family. For years, artists have been putting out music. They've been putting out their albums. And a lot of artists only get between 10 to 15% of royalties from the hard work they do. Creating the sound, studio sessions, putting out an album, promo tours, less than 10, 15%. A lot of artists right now are fed up of that because there's lots of middlemen. You've got record labels, producers, independent, escrow type of individuals. What a lot of music artists are doing right now is that they're taking this into their own hands, whereby through NFTs, people are able to actually invest into these. NFTs have a coin attached to it. So you're going to start seeing over this year, someone like Eminem, who you can see right now, he's partnered up with a blockchain called Nifty. Yeah. And he launched his first NFT this year. You can actually purchase this stuff and you can purchase coins as well. Isn't that insane? Now, if you don't know who Gemini are, Gemini is an exchange that's created by the Winklevoss twins. If you don't know who the Winklevoss twins are, they're the guys who created Facebook. Anyone seen The Social Network? Remember those twins that created Facebook, but Mark Zuckerberg, stole the idea? Mark Zuckerberg, if you're on the call right now, I'm not trying to bait you out, but this is what's happening in the music space right now. Let me give you another one. Snoop Dogg. He's created his first NFT. This is what's happening right now. If anyone's into different types of music, Kings of Leon. Guys, look at the websites that I'm sharing. This is public information. This isn't something that I put together. Look at the dates. Look at the dates. This is all in the last couple of months. Kings of Leon have already generated 2 million in sales. Record labels are, they're going to be not a thing of the past, but it's something that's going to capitulate, because companies that take advantage of these artists is something that's going to, really disappear in time. What else we got? What else we got? Let me show you this. I won't show you every example. Tory Lanez, another artist. This is someone actually that's going to go independent through cryptocurrency, whereby he's going to create his own coin, and you can go and purchase this coin. So anything that they do now, tours, new albums, promos, they're going to do like a 60-40, 70-30 split. So us as investors, fans, consumers, we're going to be able to invest in the coin and get more than what we bargained for. NFTs, guys, if you haven't written it down, for those in the back, NFTs, write it down. Now it's also moving into the sports arena, guys. This is the person in America who spearheaded the way sports is going to change. If you haven't heard of him, his name's Russell Okun. He's one of the first persons that negotiated a sports contract where he doesn't want to be paid in US dollars. He wants to be paid in Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Why? Because it's going up. I get paid the same on US dollars each month or each week, where, however he gets paid, from the Carolina Panthers, where you can get paid in cryptocurrency. Isn't that phenomenal? Insane, right? Let me show you something else. Let me show you something else. Guys, look at the websites. CNBC, Forbes magazine. I ain't making this up. Check this out. Sorry. Tyson Fury. Anybody know who Tyson Fury is? He is the first boxer to launch his own exclusive NFT. Digital art, guys, collectibles. I'm gonna show you some examples of this in a second if you're still wondering what NFTs are. He's the first boxer, and in time there might be a clone associated with it. So, you know, he might tokenize himself. So you can actually go onto places like potentially Coinbase, Binance, and buy, you know, the Tyson Fury coin. As he fights Anthony Joshua, the price of it might go up. Our educators will inform us of what's going on. Everything that I'm showcasing with you today, I've learned from the platform that we use, guys. Everything I'm showcasing with you today, I've learned from the platform, from our expert educators and traders. eBay. eBay are the latest company that have begun embracing NFTs. I didn't even know I was going to say that. Embracing NFTs. It's now acceptable. You're going to start seeing this everywhere now, guys. And if you didn't know, you know. You know. You know, Beeple. I think I've got quite a few examples. This is like someone who sold digital art, you know, and you know, this stuff is now being auctioned at places like Christie's and Sotheby's. Look at that, guys. Somebody bought this artwork for $69 million. Christie's, the auction house, not Gumtree. Christie's, look at that. All of his digital artworks in one piece, someone bought that for 70 million. This is insane, right? This is insane. Let me show you something else. I'm so sorry. CryptoPunks. Now I'm going to give you an example of what NFTs are. So a blockchain company called Lava Labs last year really started to push these things out. It's been around for a couple of years. Basically what they've done is that they've created 10,000 unique emojis. I like to call them emojis, low-res emojis. If anyone had a Nokia 3210 back in the day, this is probably what emojis would have looked like back then. And what they've done is that they started putting these out on the Ethereum blockchain for people to purchase. And you're probably thinking, what is this, Ruben? Allow me to explain. People can own these. People can own these. Now look at the top sales. Look at the top sales. Let me click on this guy here. Let me click on this guy here. So essentially what they've done is that they released these for purchase. And you're probably thinking, well, why would I own one of these? Why would I buy one of these? 3 words. It's a flex. In the digital world, it's no different to like, you know, back in the day, we used to own like, you know, collectibles like physical cards, baseball cards, football cards, etc. Look at that. Guys, I'm going to show you the transaction history on the blockchain with this. So back in 2017, somebody purchased this for $128. Then he got, you know, bid. Then he got offered. Then he got bid. Then he got offered. Then he got bid. Sold for $15,000. Flipping money, just like Kieran said earlier. Then he got bid. Then he got sold. Then he got bid. Then he got sold. Then he got bid. Then he got sold. Look at this, guys. On March the 11th this year, someone purchased this for $7.5 million. Would you spend $7.5 million on this? Maybe, maybe not. NFTs, guys. Now, this is one of the most exciting spaces in NFTs right now, where you can own digital collectibles. There's a company called Ecomi, and they have a coin called Omi, and you can get on this relatively cheap. It's only like less than a penny. And what they've done is they've partnered up with some of the most incredible companies in the world to create digital collectibles. They've partnered up with DC Comics, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, Pokemon, Nintendo, Powerpuff Girls, as it says there. And what you're owning is digital pieces of art. So imagine you had like physical cards. You know, I used to collect football stickers and cards when I was a little bit younger. Now you can own these on a digital format where you, on the blockchain, it's attributed to you. You can buy this, you can hold it, you can sell it. Guys, these things are relatively cheap to get into. Less than $100 to buy one of these. So go check this website out. Actually, you need to download the app. Guys, we're at an advantage right now because this hasn't even launched in China or Japan yet. Once this launches later this year in China and Japan, oh my God, the value of these things are going to be insane. Here's some examples. We've already started buying this. Me and my team have already started buying some of this stuff. So again, you know, take a screenshot of this, write it down. NFTs is gonna change your bank balance. But be cautious, do your research, but plug into our platform and let the experts tell you what to do. Here's an NFT that I bought about 4 of these on here, but here's an NFT that I purchased on the music, from the music industry. You know, I'm a big music fan. Anybody knows this record label? You know, back in the day, it had the likes of Dre, Snoop, etc. They launched NFTs on their website a few months ago. Look at this one here, guys. You can actually purchase this for $20,000. Now, I actually bought this one here, and I know some of my guys did as well. This cost me like 30, actually it's written there, look, $30 US. You know, there's my contract. So, you know, it's attributed to me. I can hold this, I can sell this. Let me just blow this up so you can see exactly what an NFT does and what it looks like. That's it. You're probably thinking, why would you buy that? We purchased this 2 weeks ago, guys. It's already worth nearly $1,000. Scarcity, look, 1 of 30. 1 of 30 in the world. I'm 1 of 30 people in the world, and 3 or 4 of my team are on this as well. It's gonna be worth a lot of money. I'll say it again, NFTs. Here's another company I've actually gone ahead and bought. Probably about 10 of these. Sports. Guys, this is going to move into so many spaces this year. The NBA have already started it. UFC are in talks. The Premier League, FIFA. Again, you can own digital cards. You know, let me show you. Let me log into my account. I'll give you a couple of examples of what this is. I don't mind sharing this. Why is it not letting me click? Oh, here we go. Here we go. So again, you're purchasing digital moments. Now, I'm not the biggest NBA fan. You know, I'm not the biggest DeAndre Jordan fan. I'm not the biggest Brooklyn Nets fan. But somebody in the world is. Somebody in the world is. You know, Kawhi Leonard, let's pop this one. You know, I'll just show you what this is. You can buy these guys for relatively cheap. You know, there you go. Look at this here, guys. Owned by Rupen Vara. I'll just let this play. And you're buying digital moments. So very similar to what we see with, like, you know, physical cards. You're actually purchasing these. Now, these go up in value as well. You know, some of these are selling for 6 figures. 6 figures. So, you know, there's so many different ways. I could honestly speak to you guys about NFT for another 2 hours, but I'm not going to, because we have another guest speaker who is our last speaker. But I just want to end with this. Anybody know who Gary Vee is? Gary Vaynerchuk, entrepreneur, multi-millionaire. If you don't know, this was his Instagram post. Read it. Just read it. NFTs will become the asset version of social media. Blowing up like crazy, right? Guys, I want to thank you so much for listening. Apologies that my laptop lagged a bit, but I think I loaded too many tabs at once. So, but listen, thank you so much. I'm going to pass it back to Nili to introduce our next and final guest speaker. I hope you guys took some value. If you have, you know, please drop a 1 in the chat. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you so much. Nili, back to you, sis.
Wow. Honestly, that was absolutely incredible, Rupen. Thank you so much for all that value on NFTs. Guys, let's just drop some love for Rupen in the chat. Drop your favorite emoji in the chat for Rupen, because that was absolutely fantastic. It just goes to show that the crypto space isn't just Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. It is so vast and so ever growing that you're going to be able to make the most of so many different opportunities in the crypto space thanks to this incredible financial education. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass on our next speaker, okay? Last but not least. And honestly, we've learned so far about Bitcoin. We've learned about what Bitcoin is, how it's going to shape the future, and why it's so important to have some sort of investment, some sort of, you know, part in the Bitcoin growth, you could say, that's going to be happening and is already happening. We now know about exchange trading. We now know about NFTs and how it is that we can make the most of our favorite moments in history, or how we can follow our passions in sports, in music, etc., and actually make money off these opportunities as well. And now we're going to be looking into exactly how it is that we can make some more wealth from actually trading Bitcoin and trading different cryptocurrencies on a daily basis. As much as long-term investments are incredible and they set us up, what about doing it on the daily? What about actually being able to make the most of the market on a daily basis? So with that being said, I cannot think of anyone else better to be able to explain how it is that you can make the most of these opportunities in the markets. Now, this individual I'm about to bring up onto this call is someone who I look up to very, very much in this industry. He is someone who leads with wisdom. He is someone who is a student and is very, very heavily invested into the crypto space, and someone who is pretty much creating his own wealth through these markets, through the cryptocurrency space, using a very, very simple trading strategy that he is going to be showing you over the next course of the next 30 minutes. And I'm so excited to be bringing him on, but the same with me, he goes off energy. So guys, let's all drop some love. Let's drop our favorite emoji for the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Daniel Agbola, who is going to be taking us through exactly how it is that you can trade on the daily through the crypto markets. Daniel, champ, over to you.
Sheesh. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nili, for that amazing introduction. Family, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear as we're about to kick off this call. Amazing. Thank you for the spotlight. Super excited, family, for us to get into the information today and show you exactly what it is that we're going through and why it is that this space is blowing up. So I appreciate every single one of you in the chats. I'm super excited and I'm happy to see that everyone can hear me. So what we're gonna do is, just to limit the distractions, I'm gonna make the chat private, let you guys actually, you know, message directly. But again, wow, this is only day one. I'm so excited because of the fact that today you have heard from not only Nili, you've heard from Kieran, you've heard from Rupen, and every single one of the speakers have actually put you in a position to advance your understanding of this crypto space. So my focus today is to, before I go into anything, I just want to thank, again, Nili for, you know, doing such an amazing job hosting and opening the call. Family, let's drop some, actually, I'm going to open up the chat box one more time before I get into everything. But let's drop some sevens in the chat to celebrate Nili for amazing hosting and actually breaking down everything so well. Perfect, amazing. Let's drop some sevens in the chat to celebrate Kieran for showing you exactly what it really means about Bitcoin, how it is that you can maximize your space or your actually opportunity within this space. And also, let's drop some sevens in the chat to, again, celebrate and recognize what it is that Rupen has done in helping you understand NFTs, helping you understand how you can actually position yourself in front of the future, really and truly. Now, again, I appreciate every single one of you, and I'm sure they do too. And what I want to do right now is I'm going to show you how to really maximize even further, because I remember when I was learning about this 3-4 years ago, I heard about foreign exchange. I heard about Forex for the first time. I heard about trading, and I was looking at it thinking, what is this? When someone said the word crypto, when someone said Bitcoin, when someone said all of these different words, I just thought they were making random noises. So I didn't really know what it was that we were actually a part of. I didn't really understand. So if you feel like that today, you're understanding and you're going through a lot of new information, it's okay. That's normal. What I want to do is I want to show you why it is that so many people have been looking into also trading cryptocurrency. The reason why is because when you looked at this right now, when you look at the price of Ethereum, how do we feel? When you look at the price of a Bitcoin, a lot of us may feel like we missed out. 50-something thousand, I believe right now, 49,000, I believe the entry is at. For those of you using Swipecoin, I know you're probably already in that trade. So what does that mean? It means that a lot of us may feel like either we may not have the funds, we may not have the finances, and it's almost like, how can I make more? It's like, how can I put myself in a position to, again, create some money now for me to acquire as much as possible? And I remember every single time I've jumped onto a session, the more I learn about crypto, it's not the more money that I necessarily want, but it's the understanding of the space. It's the understanding of where we're going to go. And I'm like, I wish I had an extra, I wish I had an extra this. I wish I had an extra. And it's like, you're gratefully dissatisfied. I want everyone to write that down. We are getting into a state right now where the world is just gratefully dissatisfied. Yeah, you're grateful for what it is that you have, but you understand that you want more. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. So what I want to do is I want to walk you through what I like to call the generational wealth cycle when it comes to cryptocurrency. And the way that I'm going to do that is actually by sharing my screen. I'm going to show you something that really, put everything into perspective for myself. So I like to use some visual aid. Let me see if I can get this up. Amazing. So now what have we got here? Generational wealth cycle. Now we're going to start with this section, which we call funds. And this is when we have the money that we have, and we want to actually do what? We acquire these funds, whether it's disposable income, whether it's residual income, we have our money. Maybe it's sitting in our bank account. Maybe it's, maybe in the stock market, whatever it might be, wherever your money is, it's funds, right? It's liquid money. Now, generational wealth cycle, what we're going to be focused on and what I'm going to show you is how to start trading that, how to start multiplying that money, how to put yourself in a position to go further when it comes to your cryptocurrency. But then this next step, what is it that you're focused on? It's on learning how to withdraw. It's on putting yourself in a position to withdraw the profits that you're making from your trading. Now, why is this beneficial? Yes, it's always going to be percentage based, but let's say, for example, someone has X amount of funds, £1,000. They multiply that money to, let's say, £3,000-4,000. Now, one Ethereum right now is about £2,900. What can you do? You can withdraw that profit in Bitcoin and convert it into Ethereum. Now, what are you doing when you convert it into Ethereum? You're putting your money into assets, whether it's crypto, like what Rupin was speaking about at the start, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, Dot. There's so many different ones that we can talk about. And for everyone that's on this call, I'm giving you a free little tip right here in this circle. And if you know these cryptocurrencies, I'm not going to say much, but yeah, it's down to you. So again, you've got cryptos, you've got NFTs, you've got ways of actually earning crypto dividends. Many people don't know this, but you can actually earn free crypto from the crypto that you're holding. I know we're not going to be going in that today. We're going to be going through it tomorrow. But the whole point is that you're letting your money work for you. Now, I'm not sure if anyone else can relate to this, but I've always been the type of individual that has been, it's almost like I'm so lazy sometimes that I'm hardworking. I'm so lazy to the fact that I'm hardworking now so that I can be lazy in the future. If you can relate to that, that's amazing. But it's like, what does that actually mean? The whole point of trading is for you to be able to create an income stream for today. The side of investing is for you to create an income stream for the generations after you. And when you start to see what that actually means, it's like, okay, why are we trading? How is it that we actually get into it? We utilize Swipecoin. Now, for a lot of people, the biggest thing that holds people back with trading is, again, how much time do I have to put into it? How much energy is it going to take? How do I have to look at the markets? And I'm going to be honest, I think the scariest thing for myself when it came to trading for the first time was actually the charts. I remember when I saw the charts for the first time, it looked like a heartbeat monitor. I looked at the screen. I was scared. I was thinking, is that my heart on the screen? It was a lot of information, right? And my role today is to help you understand exactly how to optimize that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that you really understand this space. So let's log into one of the tools that not only myself, Rupin, Nili, Kieran, hundreds of thousands of people around the world are utilizing, Swipecoin. Now, what I'm going to do is once we log in, I'm going to show you what it actually looks like. Now, the whole point of this tool is for it to scan the market for you. You have a software that's scanning the market. And what we want to do is we're going to show you how to actually trade this. So once it actually logs me in, hopefully, as we can see, is we're going to be in a position where it's going to log in. And when it does log in, we're going to be able to start doing what? We're going to be able to see the charts. Now, with the charts, a lot of the time, it does look a little bit daunting. It does look a little bit confusing when we're looking at it for the first time. But one thing that we can naturally see is that the charts are just simply representing price moving over time. So let's see this works. Amazing, phenomenal. What I'm going to do is we're going to get rid of this. Now, the whole point of me going through this is by the end of the boot camp, by the end of the next 2 days, you're already in a position where you're making profit. You're already in a position where you know exactly what to do. So I look at this for the first time. Let's say, for example, I'm new. How do I feel? It's scary. How do I feel? It's overwhelming. I'm looking at it thinking, what exactly is it? Now, let's get rid of the scariest part, which is the price. Now, what can we see on the screen? We can see a line. We can see some, random buttons. Now, let's get rid of one of those lines. What can we see on the screen? We can see a small sign that says sell. We can see a small sign that says buy. And we can see that popping up again and again and again and again. So yes, you're looking into trading. You want to understand what it is that you're doing. If you're taking notes, just write this down. When it comes to trading, you're, in a simplified nutshell, your focus is 2 things: the direction of the price and the distance that it goes. The direction of the price and the distance that it goes. Now, when it comes to the direction, you're either buying or you're selling. If you're buying, you're expecting the price to go up. If you're selling, you're expecting the price to go down. Now, how much you make is dependent on the distance that the market moves. So what do we mean by that? If you were to, and I'm going to show you, we're going to bring back the line. We're going to build on this information. If you were to sell here, what's going to happen? You've seen that the price overall, this line is representing the average price within a specific amount of time. So it's going down, it's going down, it's telling you that the price overall went down. Now, if you sold that, then what would have happened? You would have been in a position where you made money. Now, if you sold maybe here, you wouldn't have made as much, if made any. Selling here, you would have made a little bit, but if you bought here, you would have made some money. Now, let's bring back the price and let me show you exactly what it is that we're doing. The whole point of this software that's scanning the market for you is finding opportunities for you to be able to win. For everyone that's maybe in the crypto market now, if you've got into any coin, you probably felt some heart palpitations at least once. You probably felt, you've seen your crypto portfolio a high. And then the next, I'm going to open up the chat. I want to know. Give me 1 second. Family, drop a number 3 in the chat if you have experienced some type of, not high blood pressure, but you've experienced something different recently when it comes to crypto, something that you're not used to. Maybe you've seen your portfolio, wow, I'm up X amount today. And then tomorrow you look back at it, you're like, what's going on? I don't understand. I was making money. How many of us have felt like that? Dry mouth. As someone said in the chat, you're sitting there, you're emotional, right? As in, it's okay. Now, the whole point of this scanner is it's going to be scanning the market for you, especially when it comes to Bitcoin. Now, why do you want to understand how Bitcoin is moving? Well, let's think about how money moves into the crypto space. First of all, it starts with Bitcoin. The easiest thing that comes into everyone's mind when they think of crypto is Bitcoin. It's like the representative of crypto, essentially. Some people like to say Bitcoin is king. Now, what happens when money moves into Bitcoin? Then it moves into typically Ethereum. So if you know how to trade Bitcoin, if you know how to trade Ethereum, you're positioning yourself to know where money is moving. You're positioning yourself to understand when money is moving in and out of the other ones and where to move your money. So when you see that Bitcoin is about to make a big drop, you can see that, okay, maybe the altcoins, and that for anyone that's new, the altcoins is any coin that's not Bitcoin. Alternative coins are going to make a rise. So let's get into it. Let's go further when it comes to this side of things. Let's actually break this down. So the first thing that we've done is we've looked at the charts. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you how to really make sense of the charts, because when I was seeing this again, buy, sell, it didn't make a lot of sense. What you're looking for is you're looking for evidence. How is it that you place a trade? You don't just place buy, you don't just place sell randomly in the market. Your focus is to do what? Your focus is to have evidence that's going to decide or help you understand where it is that you're looking at or what you're looking to happen in the market. So what I want to do is I want you guys to write down floors and ceilings. Floors and ceilings. Now, when you look at the market, you're going to see that there's floors and ceilings. The market is always going to show patterns. So let's click on this. I'm actually going to bring up another image, and I want you to look at this image. This image represents how price is typically moving around. So what price looks like when you're actually looking at the charts. And when you see this, you're going to see that there's floors and there's ceilings. So I want to show you. Imagine right now, let me see if I can get this up on the screen. Imagine right now, there we go. Okay, perfect. So you should be able to see my screen. Now on the right-hand side of my screen, what you're going to be able to see mainly is what we call resistance and support. Now, resistance and support is essentially the floors, which is the support, and the ceilings within the market. So if you throw a bouncy ball at the floor, what's going to happen? It's going to bounce. Price moves in the exact same way. It's bouncing between different zones. So you throw the ball, it drops. You throw the ball against the ground, what happens? It goes up, it goes down. Now, a better example that might actually help everyone right now is going to be what? It's going to be showing you this visual aid right here. So let me see if I can get this up right next to Safari. Amazing. So now let's actually get into it. So right now you can see where it says support, you can see where it says resistance. And the whole point is you're seeing price moving up, then down, up and down, up and down. That market doesn't tend to just repeat itself, but it tends to rhyme. So when you look at the market, and what do we mean by rhyme? The exact same thing isn't going to happen every single time, but it might be a little bit similar. So when you look here, naturally what you're going to see is the prices moved up and the prices moved down. The prices moved up, the prices moved down. The prices move up, the prices move down. Now, when the price is low, what do? Your aim is to buy. When the price is high, your aim is to sell. So for those of you looking into this and thinking, okay, how exactly am I meant to use this? How exactly am I supposed to apply this information to my trading? Let's make it make sense. Your focus is to actually get in. And this is one thing for anyone that's in any part of crypto, just write this down. Buy the fear and sell the greed. Buy the fear and sell the greed. If we could summarize, a big chunk of crypto, it would be in those few words. Buying the fear and selling the feed. No, you're gonna know what I mean. Buying the fear and selling the greed. So what I want to do is I want to show you some simple steps. And this is going to be more for the people that have already traded a little bit. I know we have a lot of new people on the call, but if you traded a little bit, this is going to help you to go away from this call understanding exactly what you're looking to do. So you're going to be able to see this screen right here. And on this screen, I want to show you what you're looking for when it comes to an actual trade. So you should be able to see, let me see, it's supposed to change. Okay, it's not coming up. Let me see if we can find this. Okay, so what we're gonna notice is they're looking for two simple things when it comes to actually placing a trade. So can you guys see my screen? Give me 1 second. Just drop a number 8 in the chat if you guys can see my screen. Okay, I'm seeing 8. Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you all how to use the Swipecoin Scalper. Now, when it comes to the Swipecoin Scalper, your focus is primarily just to, look for two things. Now, what did I say before? Your focus is to find evidence to decide what it is that you're doing. Again, you're either buying or you're selling. Now, we're gonna give you some images that are really gonna help you make progress with each of these areas. And the first image that I wanna show you is going to be right here. So you can see this image on the screen, and with this image, you can see that there are resistances, and the resistance is a ceiling. So the price moves up, it bounces, it comes back down. The price moves up, it bounces, it comes back down. Now, when the price does what? If you throw the bouncy ball hard enough against the ground, what's gonna happen? It's gonna break through into the ceiling. So it's gonna break the ceiling, and what's gonna happen is it's gonna go up. Now, your focus is to buy at the exact right time. So how are you gonna know how to buy? We're gonna actually start to help you understand. We're actually gonna help you actually start to make sense of candlesticks. So I don't know, family, what we're looking for right here is we're actually gonna be able to look at this price, and we're gonna see the price move. Now, when you look at the candlestick, for anyone that's already been a part of the platform, you're understanding things already. Thank you, Garen. What's gonna happen is when you see the thick part of the candle, this rectangle right here, when you see it move above the line, you are going to do what? You're going to enter the trade. Now, when you are looking for a sell, what's going to happen? You're actually going to wait for the market to do what? You're going to wait for the market to cross below that line, but specifically the body of what we call a candlestick. For anyone that's new, I want you to look on the left. You're going to see price drop, hit the floor. It's going to bounce. It's going to hit the floor. It's going to bounce. When it now bounces, when you throw the ball hard enough, what happens? It breaks through the floor. You're going to sell. And once you've sold the market in that position, what's actually going to happen is you're going to be in a position where you make profit. Now, the question is, where does this line appear from? The Swipecoin Scalper is going to show you exactly, and it's going to give you the line every time you look at the market. So right here, for example, you can see it's called a trade, and it's told you, you want to sell the market when it breaks and closes below this point. So what happened? The price came below, like we showed, and then it went up, and then it came back down. Now, the longer that you were in the trade, the distance, remember, we're focused on two things, the direction and the distance. So as long as you've actually got the direction right, you've got the distance right, you're in a position where you made profit. So naturally, as you are all listening to this, there are people that are in a trade right now from Crypto Picasso. Now, if you're looking at this thinking, okay, this seems a little bit risky, I don't really understand exactly how I'm supposed to get in. That's exactly why people are leveraging the educators. What I want to do today is I want to show you a concept that really changed my understanding when it came to trading. When it came to trading, one of the scariest things for me was risk. I remember when I saw trading for the first time, I was in my first year of university, and I remember going into Tesco. Oh, does it give you stop losses and take profits? No, it doesn't. I'm going to give you exactly how to do that. But I remember going into Tesco, right? And I went to the self-service machine. And when I went to the self-service machine, I just picked up a meal deal on my way to a lecture, started scanning the products. What happens? I go to pay, self-service machine, put my card in, and I'm not sure if anyone has noticed, but a self-service machine is very, very loud. So I put my card in. Your payment hasn't been accepted. Pardon me? Go on to my online banking. Go into the online banking, what happens? You're seeing naturally, there's a smudge on my screen. I don't know, I hope no one else can relate to this, but I look at my balance, I see multiple four figures. I'm like, great, phenomenal. Smudge on my screen, what do we do? I tried to rub out the smudge, it didn't come off. I was thinking, you know what, let me just, quick one, didn't come off. Tried to rub it out again, didn't come off. Tried to rub it out one more time, didn't come off. This was a minus sign. In front of all of that, for those figures, that was a minus sign. And the reason why reason why I'm explaining this is because some of you may be hopefully not in a similar position, but again, the risk that attached to trading may be scary. Now, what if I was to tell you that you could do what? You could actually learn how to risk less and earn more. You could actually learn how to position yourself in the markets. And this is why education is so important. Someone said this quote, right? And they said something to me that was very, very powerful. They said that if someone's going down the wrong road, they don't need motivation to speed up. They need someone to educate them to turn around. They need education in order for them to actually do what? Turn around. And that's exactly why I want to show you what risk to reward actually means. So when you're placing a trade, I'm going to show you something very interesting. With the right information, you can put yourself in a position to risk less and win more. So I'm going to write out just on the screen. You've got your risk, and whenever you risk a certain amount within trading, it's going to be a percentage. So let's say, for example, you're risking 1%. So you're risking 1% of your trading account, whether that's £1,000, whether that's £200, whether that's maybe, you know, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 pounds. You decided that you're going to risk 1%. Now, how do you determine your risk? Your risk is simply your entry, or the distance between your entry and your stop loss. So the distance between your entry and your stop loss. Now, some people may be wondering, what is a stop loss? When you come into the market, a stop loss is a digital safety net to stop you from losing money. So when you actually enter the market, you're not just risking all of your money at one time, you're actually able to control the risk. So your stop loss is actually going to be a digital safety net. So you can decide, what I want to do is I want to risk 1%. When you have a take profit, your focus is to do what? Your focus is to make sure that the distance between your stop loss and your take profit is bigger than the distance between your entry and your stop loss. So let's say, for example, you decided that if you were to win the trade, the market was going to go in your favor, you were going to make sure that you were making a reward of 3%. Now, why is this important for everyone that's on this call? I know a lot of us are coming in wanting to learn about crypto, understanding this, is because in crypto, you're actually able to control that risk and actually maximize your reward. And the way that you do that is by utilizing things like Swipecoin. But what does this do for every single one of you? What does this do to help you actually make progress? It means that you can lose more. What if I was to tell you that you could lose more than you win and you could actually still be profitable. Give me 1 second. My laptop is about to die. So yeah, what if you could lose more than you win and still be profitable? A big misconception when it comes to trading is that you have to be super accurate, that you have to be the best computer person in the market. That's really not the case. So what I want to do, and I'm going to do this very quickly before we wrap up this call, there's some value that I'm going to get into, but some extra value that I want to get into, but we're gonna keep that because we want to make sure that's making sense. You're going to risk, say for example, what? You're going to risk 1%. Now, let's say, for example, and I want to give the example of taking 10 trades. If you take 10 trades in the market, what's going to happen? You're going to have a probability of how many you're going to win and how many you're going to lose. Now, the best way to look at this is think, what about if you are 30% accurate? 30% accuracy means that you're winning 3 trades and you're losing 7 trades. Now, let's get rid of percentages and let's talk about money, because I know that's the reason why everyone's on this call. But if you decide, you know what, whenever I actually place a trade, I'm going to risk 10 pounds. Oh. Whenever I place a trade, I'm going to risk 10 pounds. Whenever I win a trade, I'm going to make sure I win 30 pounds. What does that mean that's going to happen? It means that every time you place a trade, you're winning 3 times as much as you're losing if you do lose. So you place a trade. The first trade, let's say you win, that's going to be plus 30 pounds. You win again, that's 30 pounds. But now let's say you take 7 losses in a row. How much have you lost? You've lost 70. Each time you've lost 10 pounds, right? So you've now lost 70 pounds, and then your last trade, you win, and that's another 30 pounds. Now, for every single person here, you've made 90 pounds and you've lost 70 pounds. What does that mean? It means that your profit overall was still 20 pounds. Now, if you take that a little bit further, 30%, but you're still winning. 30%, but you're still making money. 30% accuracy, but you're still in profit. It means that you don't need to care about the losses. A lot of trading is understanding how to deal with loss, but also about putting yourself in a position to minimize your risk and maximize your reward. So the great thing about the scalper and what we're focused on today with this is the scalper is showing you how to place a trade and win twice as much as you are losing if you do lose. Now, the SwipeCoin app is showing you how to catch not a 1 to 3. It's saying you risk 1%, but then you gain 10%. On average, the first trade, TP1, is 10 times bigger than the distance or the risk that you're actually doing. So again, you can lose multiple times, but the question is, how much are you winning? The question is, are you overall profitable? A lot of Instagram, they show us, and I'm gonna bring this to a close very, very shortly, but on Instagram, a lot of people show you the results, but they never show you the process. We see the Lamborghini, Rolex traders. We see the crypto traders on Instagram. Now everyone is a crypto guru all of a sudden. But what you're seeing is today what Rupin has done, what Kieran has done. They've shown you the process. In fact, they've shown you some of the fruits in terms of education, but they've also shown you the process of how it is that they've learned. They've also shown you how it is that you can actually make progress with this. Now, what I've done right now is I've started to give you the basic foundation of how to really start to utilize the SwipeCoin scalper. Now, for a lot of people, you're maybe starting to understand this. It's maybe coming together, especially for the people in the platform already that you've looked into trading. This may make a lot of sense. But if you're looking into this right now and it feels overwhelming, one thing that I want you to notice is you're in a process, you're learning. Think about this. I always say that trading isn't difficult. It's simply just new. Trading isn't difficult. It's simply just new. And how can I expand that and help everyone understand that right now? Think about the first time that you sat in a car. How did it feel when you were driving? When you were in the driver's seat for the first time? It's probably a little bit confusing. You had to, for anyone that's maybe driving manual, what have you done? You have to balance the clutch. You have to move the gears at the same time. You have to look in the rear view mirror. You have to look at the road all at the same time in 1 second. It was scary. But what happened over time, it started to make more sense. For anyone that's riding a bike, How did it feel the first time that you rode a bike? It was probably scary. You're looking at it thinking, okay, this is really a lot of information. I have to balance, I have to ride, I have to move at the same time. It's a lot of information. Now, for anyone else that's maybe looking at this, looking at any skill set, for me, even looking at swimming, how did it feel at the start? It was complicated. Today, well, I'll be honest, still a little bit complicated for myself, but for some other individuals, it might have made more sense, right? And the focus is that it's not difficult, it's simply just new. You give yourself time to learn this. Now, what do I really want to show you? What is the purpose of this boot camp? Now, I could go through, and I'm going to be honest, there's so much information that we could go through today. We could go through how it is that you can earn free crypto from staking. Again, crypto dividends. We could go through exactly how it is that the money flows into the market. We could overload you with so much information, but the focus is for the information to be digestible. So what we're going to do is, rather than me going into so much depth, overloading the information, we're actually going to put you all in a position where tomorrow we're going to 10x the value. Tomorrow, we're going to have someone break down exactly how it is that not only myself, not only Kieran, not only Rupin actually learn, but actually show you the step-by-step process that over 100,000 of individuals around the world are actually also learning. So before we actually wrap this call up, I want to give you all a parting gift. For when you do really start to take this seriously, when you do start to use Swipecoin Scalper, I want you to actually have a few things. And one of the things that I want you to screenshot, and this is going to make a lot more sense as you start to go through the process. One of the things that I want you to screenshot is going to be this screen here. I want you to screenshot this. So is this oh, that's not a white screen that just came up. Is that a white screen? Give me one sec. I'll take a screenshot of this. Just finding it. I have so many tabs open, it's difficult to even find which one we're focused on. Can you guys see this right now? Perfect. So take a screenshot of this for the Swipecoin Scalper. All of this information, you're probably thinking, how is it going to work? Don't worry, it's going to make sense. That's what we always like to say. It's all about to make sense. Now take a screenshot of this. This is going to help you with calculating your stop loss and your take profit. You're thinking in the market, where do I get in? How do I actually enter? This is going to give you, or where do I exit the market? When it comes to trading Bitcoin, when it comes to trading Ethereum, what are you going to do? You can see right here, BTC USD, Ethereum US dollar, buy versus sell. This is the gift that we're giving to you right now. It's going to make more sense over time. Now, the next gift that we're going to give you that's really going to be helpful is going to be the actual strategy for you to be able to enter into the market. So let me get this up, because when you utilize this strategy, when you're actually running it by yourself and you're going through it, it's going to allow you to enter and place trades using the Swipecoin Scalper. So anyone, if you have this, just take a screenshot of this, because this is going to allow you to understand how to enter the trade. And this is going to help you actually make progress when it comes to everything in terms of crypto, when it comes to actually multiplying your income. So now that you screenshotted those two things, those are the gifts that we're going to focus on for today. We are going to focus on bringing this to a close. But one thing that I want to line up, and the last thing that I want to show you today, is we're going to come back to this, generational wealth cycle. For a lot of people, it's so fun to just put your money in the right place and for it to multiply. And that's amazing. That's the asset side of things. That's where you're, putting your money into crypto. You're allowing it to grow. You're allowing it to multiply. But then you also have the funds. The funds is where you get money. The funds is maybe the income from work. The funds may be, residual income from anything that you might do if you're an artist. MT4 is where you're going to be trading. This is a trading application. Now, when you make those withdrawals, again, what are you going to do? You're going to focus on pumping them back into assets. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just what hundreds of thousands of people with the platform have been doing. So we're letting you know this information, but tomorrow we're going to go into depth with how it is that you can actually go through each step. On top of that, we're going to have a special guest speaker. This is someone that started off as, I don't want to go too much into their story, but let's just say they started off as a pizza boy and now is living the lifestyle of many people's dreams, married, happy, and actually being able to travel the world in over 40 plus countries, actually been speaking and making impact in. And his name is Jason Brown. He's going to be there tomorrow, and he's actually going to be breaking down a lot more information about crypto. Now, my focus today, again, you can check him out on Instagram. My focus today is to show you mostly the wealth cycle, and to help you understand this is going to take time. It's a process, but the most exciting thing about this space is that it is simply the future. So for any creatives that are on the call, I want you to understand, definitely looking to NFTs. As Rupen said, you want to be looking into NFTs. The world is changing. The way money is being made is changing. We're seeing 7-year-olds on YouTube making 11 million plus from uploading videos. Why is it surprising that someone can have a digital video and make thousands? We're seeing people coming and doing what? We're seeing people making money, more money than they've ever seen maybe before in their life within a space that they haven't understood yet. Why is it surprising that, you know, that can be long lasting? The real thing that we want to do, and I want to say this, and this is the thing that I want to end on. I'm going to let you guys know that we're doing a giveaway soon. I don't want to go into it too much, but I'm going to leave you guys with one of the biggest and most powerful pieces of information that someone gave to me. And someone asked me a question, in fact, and it was a question that they said, Daniel, why is it that so many people fade in life? I looked at them and my first answer was because they quit too soon. Right now, we started the call. It's gone all the way up to 1,000. It's gone all the way now, it's 850. That's amazing. Phenomenal. 850 people plugging into the information. But the answer to that question was no, not because they quit too soon. Now, going further, she said, Daniel, give it another guess. My second answer was because they don't give themselves the chance to win in the first place, so they disqualify themselves before they qualify. He said, no. He said, Daniel, the reason why so many people fade in life isn't because of the lies that they were told, but it's because of the truth that they were told that they chose not to believe. Family, friends, every single person on this call, the whole point of this call has been to tell you the truth about the future of money. And in fact, we've recorded this call to make sure that in the future, we can look back at this and no one can ever say that you were not given the information that you had in order to make the life that you deserve. And one thing that I always want to say, right? And one thing that I want to say here is whether we choose to believe the truth or not does not change the fact that it's the truth. Someone was told about Bitcoin when it was worth $1,000. And today, whether they believed it was the truth or not, just about $49,000, $50,000. Someone was told about Tesla when it was under how much? $100 per share. And today, whether we believe it or not, before the stock split, Tesla was worth over $2,400 before the stock split. Now, the same way you're being told about the crypto space today, about everything that's happening with NFTs, how it is that you can maximize in terms of the Bitcoin halving, how you can mine crypto, how you can make money with all these different ways is the truth. And whether you choose to believe it or not, I'm super excited for what you do with that truth. So I appreciate you. I look forward to every single one of you winning. Tomorrow, what we are going to do is we're going to do a Bitcoin giveaway on the call tomorrow. And I'm not going to say the amount, but let's just say it's more than 3 figures. Let's just say it's more than 3 figures. And with that Bitcoin giveaway, we're going to be giving away this money to the people. The note takers are the money makers. Tomorrow's day is going to be so powerful, filled with information. And we're going to be starting again at 2 p.m. If you got value from this call, just go back to the person that invited you onto this call. Number one, thank them. Thank yourself for staying for the full duration of this call. And one thing that I want to do is I want to welcome you to the crypto space and welcome you to the advancement on your understanding that you're going to be gaining within the next 24 hours. So again, I appreciate you. I look forward to your progress and I will see you all tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. Have an amazing day, family.